Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. They were reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 4, text 34. Tad vidhi pranipatina pariprashnina sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinah tadvidhi pranipatina pariprashnina sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinah tadvidhi pranipatina pariprashnina sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinah tadvidhi pranipatina pariprashnina sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinah. That knowledge of different sacrifices. Vidhi, try to understand. Pranipatina, by approaching a spiritual master. Pariprashnina, by submissive inquiries. Sevaya, by the rendering of service. Upadekshanti, they will initiate. Te, you. Jnanam, into knowledge. Jnanina, the self-realized. Tattva, all the truth. Darshinaha, seers. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Once again. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Purport. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord Himself. No one can a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and the person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as in the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam 6.3.19 says, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path. Nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant, without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees one must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward his disciple. Toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Chakshurumitam jena tasmai Sri Gurave namo Sri Chaitanya Mahavishtam Sthapitam jena Bhutali Swayam Rupakadam Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuthapadakamam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sadrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Marita Vishaktam Chaitamscha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So just to connect this verse with the previous ones, I would like to read one or two previous verses. All these different types of sacrifice are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born of different types of work. Knowing them as such, you will become liberated. What chastiser of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possessions. After all, O son of Pritha, all sacrifices of work culminate in transcendental knowledge. And as it is written in Surrender Unto Me, you can find this text in the folio. So it's written there that after describing the indirect methods of obtaining transcendental knowledge, which are different types of sacrifices such as karma yoga and jnana yoga, now Krishna describes the direct methods, the direct method of obtaining the transcendental knowledge, which is we should approach a bona fide spiritual master and inquire from him submissively and serve him as a menial servant. Actually, the process of hearing means transformation. So the sounds we hear, which enter our ears, they actually transform our consciousness. Like material sounds contaminate our consciousness. So same way the spiritual sound purifies our consciousness, and hearing means transformation. And originally in the Vedic culture, the process of hearing was taken very, very seriously. Like let's say in a village somewhere in India, the village pundits would debate with each other, or they would debate with the pundits from another village, or sometimes maybe some saintly mendicant would come over, and so after debates with this mendicant, if the mendicant would win, the village pundits would most probably they would have to become his disciples. So this is how different religious philosophies spread all over India. And there are many examples like Buddhism, Shankarism, and Vaishnava cults. Because hearing means transformation. And same way, when we just joined Krishna consciousness, how it happened. Somehow or other, we started reading the books, which also a kind of hearing. We started hearing to the devotees' lectures, to their preaching. We started here to the preaching of Srila Prabhupada, and this hearing process transformed us. It transformed. We decided that we should not eat meat anymore. We should quit eating meat. We should quit drinking wine and taking other intoxicants, etc. So hearing means transformation, and this transformation is as effective as the speaker and the listeners are qualified. So the qualification of the speaker and the listeners is a very essential element. This is why this text emphasizes that we should approach a bona fide spiritual master. Bona fide spiritual master means he comes in the disciplic succession. As we know, there are 4 main disciplic succession in this world, and we happen to be a part of Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So this is the disciplic succession which was chosen to spread throughout the world in this age of Kali. So a bona fide spiritual master comes in such a disciplic succession, and he's not only properly initiated, but he has achieved the pinnacle. Ideally, he should be self-realized. Means that he's not just speaking from a book, but he actually knows what he's speaking about. So the ideal way how one can become a spiritual master is described in the Shastras. So ideally, well, if we take, for example, a sadhana siddha, someone who achieves success by a long and constant sadhana. So when he achieves the success, then he sees his spiritual form, or in many cases, in some cases, it says that he goes to the spiritual world, and then he sees Krishna directly, eye to eye, and very often Krishna says to a newly liberated devotee, "Okay, you're so dear to me, so I have a mission for you to accomplish. So you go back to the material world and liberate others. Do this favor for me, please." So a newly liberated soul comes back to the material world and act as completely liberated acharya. And it says that basically there are three types of Uttamadhikaris. And if you remember it better, so please correct me. So the first type is the one whose both feet are in the spiritual world. So he's in the spiritual world. Basically, he just extends his hand to save the fallen souls. So this is the first type. So then the second type is the one whose one feet is in the spiritual world, and another feet is still in the material world. So he's in kind of transition from the material world to the spiritual world. But he's also an Uttama Vaishnava. And the third one,
I don't know, where did you get this from?
well, it's from the Shastras, but you remember that? No. It's okay. There's also a third type of Uttamadhikari Vaishnavas. They are those who have complete faith in the Shastric conclusions, and they are very close to the second and third type of Uttamadhikaris, but still haven't made it yet. So as we know, our Srila Prabhupada represents the first type of Uttamadhikaris. So his both feet are in the spiritual world, and he just extends his hand to kindly pick us up from the material world. So this is the process. If we want our hearing to be effective, ideally the speaker should be qualified. And also listeners should be qualified. Like in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we know that Shukadeva Goswami was the most qualified speaker in the assembly. And Maharaj Parikshit was the most qualified listener. And the reason why Maharaj Parikshit was the most qualified listener was that Maharaj Parikshit really wanted, he was really inquisitive, he was really looking for Krishna. And he really wanted to know what should he do at the verge of death. What is the thing one should do when one is about to die. So both of them were highly qualified. So Shukadeva Goswami narrated the Srimad Bhagavatam, and Maharaj Parikshit listened to it. And what is that book? What's the name of this book? Brihad Bhagavatamrita? No, which book is the narration by Maharaj Parikshit to his mother Uttara? Brihad Bhagavatamrita, yes. So and as a good listener, Maharaj Parikshit was able to narrate the Brihad Bhagavatamrita to his mother, not long before his departure. Yes, and we know the Brihad Bhagavatamrita is quite a thick book. Huh? Amazing, yes. Yes, Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So, and so this is the first class listener, the one who doesn't have any material attachments, who just abandoned everything and he's ready to go back to God. He just needs a qualified guru to polish his understanding and point him into the right direction. So this is the first class. And even if we are not such a qualified listener, still we should hear with the desire to improve, with the desire to change, because hearing means transformation, and this rule works 100% even in the material field. Like what I noticed, and probably you also noticed the same thing, that the degradation of the material society is going on full speed, in full speed. Like even here in India, we may notice some trends, some tendency for degradation. Like Indian women started to wear, jeans and pants, in a very big scale. Maybe here in Vrindavan you don't get to see it too often, but if you go outside of Vrindavan, somewhere to, let's say, Manali, everyone there wears either pants or jeans, something like this, And the worst part is it becomes fashionable for an Indian woman, it becomes fashionable to smoke. Yeah, so what is this? This is, well, it comes here not from Europe, Prabhuji. It comes here not from Europe. On our way to Manali, we saw one movie. We had to do it because the screen was right here, and the volume was, I couldn't understand what did they speak about. But in that movie, they were doing all sorts of nonsense. We normally do before Krishna consciousness in Europe, like smoking, drinking, etc. Yes. Yes, and they whatever they show in their movies, the young generation thinks it's a normal thing. It's a normal thing to drink. It's a normal thing to smoke. It's a normal thing that everyone can see. What is your body. So. Yeah, no problem. So anyway, it's just an example. Still, India is a very nice place. We did some harinams in Manali, and all these women and men in jeans. Still, inside they're very nice. Their heart is very good. Many of them stopped and participated in kirtan, gave some donations, took Srila Prabhupada's books. So that is great still. But we can see that watching movies is also a kind of hearing, and it does affect our consciousness and transforms it. This is why people who produce the movies, behind them there are other people who are paying money and who are interested in some things. They are interesting to. They are basically interested in degradation of the society, because the more people are degraded, the easier it is to control them. Degraded people are very easier to control. So, same way, if we get to hear to the spiritual lectures, then our consciousness also transforms. It also transforms, and hearing means transformation. And we can help this process of transformation if we are eager to improve. If we are eager to improve, a very basic example which I quote very often is how to start our spiritual progress right now, right from the level we are at. We can start making a substantial progress if we just stop breaking the round we chant. Oftentimes we can say that someone chants around. Well, I'm also doing that sometimes, but then later, of course, I'm trying to correct this habit. So someone chants the round, then in the middle of the round breaks it and gets distracted talking to his or her friend, then goes back to the same round. So it's a bad habit, and this is called vikshapa. Vikshapa means distraction, external distraction. There is external distraction, which is breaking the round you chant, or getting distracted in any other way, like your eyes go somewhere, you chant around, but your eyes go somewhere and look at a beautiful woman or a beautiful picture, or chanting japa and texting is also a kind of vikshapa, texting or surfing on Facebook. So if we get to hear this instruction, and if we remember that Srila Prabhupada taught his disciples on his good example that they should get distracted once in 4 rounds. So you complete 4 rounds, then you get distracted, or then you can put aside your japa bag and do something else. Then you can go back to the rounds. Or ideally, you should get distracted once in 16 rounds. So like considering the 4 rounds, one time told his disciples that he was when he was the when he was grihastha, this is what he used to do. And if we go to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's writing, we'll find confirmation there. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says about the same thing, that okay, 4 ounces constitute one grantha. Grantha? Is it granthi, or how is it called? And he actually measures the amount of round we chant not in the rounds themselves, but in granthas. So basically, if you chant 16 rounds, means you chant 4 granthas. If you chant 64 rounds, then you chant 16 granthas. So this is how he measures the amount of rounds we chant. And so Srila Prabhupada was a perfect representative of our Guru Parampara. Maybe he, for some reasons, he didn't emphasize not emphasize enough some aspects of our Guru Parampara's teachings, but still it's there, and the Srila Prabhupada is perfect in all aspects. So he said that when he was a grihastha, when in his grihastha life, he used to get distracted from his japa once in 4 rounds. So he used to chant 4 rounds, then do some things, whatever he had to do, and then he would chant another 4 rounds, and then would do something else. Then he would chant another 4 rounds, etc. So, and thus he would get his 16 rounds complete. Yes, but we can start with this just with not breaking 1 round we chant. And then very soon, just in a few days, we'll feel how Krishna is satisfied, because the holy name is Krishna himself, even if we don't realize this. So hearing means transformation, and when an ideal Vaishnava, ideally it should be an ideal Vaishnava preaching such things, when he preaches, then we get inspired, and gradually we get inspired to change ourselves. And this works in the material world also. Like let's say a guitar teacher, a guitar instructor, he preaches to his students, hey folks, learning guitar is so much fun. So, and he takes his guitar and plays a great role. He probably spent 10 years for learning this role, and it sounds really great. So the audience is looking at him and thinking, whoa, I also want to play like this, so please teach me how to play guitar. So same way, when someone who has the purity, who has the realization, who's knowing what he's talking about, when someone preaches to us and we listen to him, then we also get inspired to transform. And this is why this text is saying that we should approach a spiritual master. Well, in some other translation it was a bona fide spiritual master. And what is the truth a bona fide spiritual master is going to teach us? What is that truth? Who knows? What is that truth?
And the next verse says that we are part and parcel of the Supreme, that we are this.
Yes. So that's the truth. Yes. So part means we're a part of Krishna, and parcel means that we are eternally separated parts. So this is the truth. So if we are simultaneously one with Krishna and different from him, so this means that we have something to do with Krishna. We have something in common. So basically, the truth a bona fide spiritual master is teaching us is the truth of our relationships with Krishna, and he's doing that in accordance to the level of our qualification. Let's say if we take the body of lectures given by Srila Prabhupada, like I'm working with folio, and if you do a query, let's say if you type Namaruchi, for instance, or something like this, like Siddha Swarupa, for instance, you don't get many queries, in the folio. But if you type, let's say, drunkard in the query, if you do a drunkard query, you'll get many hits. You'll get many hits. Or if you type karma jnana, you'll get many hits, because Srila Prabhupada used to talk very often and a lot. He used to talk a lot on this subject. Like considering drunkard, I would like to remember one very inspiring quote. After one lecture, Hridayananda Maharaj asked a question to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, we don't have taste for chanting. So, you know what was Srila Prabhupada's reply? His reply was that you can develop the taste for chanting by participation, by regular participation in Harinam Sankirtana. So you drink and you'll become a drunkard very soon. And the audience was really amused by by Srila Prabhupada's words and broke into laughter. So because it was so funny, it was so obvious. You drink and you'll become a drunkard. And then Srila Prabhupada goes on, same way you chant and you'll become a perfect chanter. So if you just chant, if you just allow yourself to do more chanting, chanting more japa and doing more kirtan. But you know, the fact that Srila Prabhupada, well, actually, everything is there in Srila Prabhupada's books, but nevertheless, he devotes so much attention to basic things like karma jnana. We are not this body, but it does not mean that Srila Prabhupada was not capable or is not capable of teaching some higher aspects of Krishna consciousness. You know, there are some people who want to maintain that Srila Prabhupada gave us only the basics of Krishna consciousness, and if we want to advance further in our understanding, we should go somewhere else outside of ISKCON. But that is not true at all. And the reason why Srila Prabhupada used to speak more on the need, you know, to establish Varnashram Dharma, on the difference between the body and the soul, the reason was our qualification. I mean, the qualification of the listeners. But to his advanced disciples, like let's say Gaura Govinda Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada used to give very highly esoteric instructions. He used to instruct them, not only him, a few others also in very highly esoteric subject matters. And we may think, okay, Srila Prabhupada is not on this planet, so how am I going to get these instructions? But actually, just by reading Srila Prabhupada's books, just by listening to our Guru Maharaj and making spiritual progress by following their instructions, you know, as our spiritual piety, bhakti and mukti sukriti accumulates, everything will be revealed to us in time. You know, even if for argument's sake we accept, just for argument's sake we accept that we don't have advanced devotees in ISKCON. You know, Shastras say that you know, if someone is really qualified to hear, or you know, if someone is really qualified for his Siddha Swarupa to be revealed to him, if someone is really so highly qualified, then there are a few ways how one can get it. You know, after all, we have many cases in ISKCON when Srila Prabhupada comes into dreams to his disciples or to his faithful or advanced followers and instructs them. This is one way. And another way, we can get it. We can get the insight into our spiritual form just by chanting Hare Krishna. If we devote themselves to this process, the holy name can give us everything. And as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in his books, the holy name is our main guru. The holy name is our main guru in the sense that our Guru Maharaj is not always around, but the holy name is always with us. The holy name ideally should be our constant companion. So, and the holy name will never cheat us. If the whole world praising us, saying, "Oh, we are so great," you know, Jaya Maharaj, Jaya Gurudev, etc. They're praising our external achievements, but I don't have, or anyone who has these titles doesn't have taste for chanting the holy name. This means that his achievements may be, just the result of his past deeds, the result of his good karma. They may be external, and vice versa. Maybe someone is, a shoekeeper here in Vrindavan, but if he has taste for chanting, if the holy name is satisfied with him or with her, so then this is the real thing. So, and the externals may vary. So even amongst advanced devotees, not everyone is having many disciples. We know that this is not the criterion. How many disciples does an advanced Vaishnava have? He may serve as a Shiksha Guru for many people, but his own flock of disciples, his own, he doesn't have to have many disciples himself. So the holy name can reveal us everything if we have blessings of Srila Prabhupada and his bona fide representatives. So it's not the only way of getting this higher esoteric knowledge that we have to go somewhere outside of ISKCON and listen to such and such Baba or Sadhu. Well, we can get everything right here, right in ISKCON at Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. But if we really want to get it, like I know many examples of, let's say, Russian devotees. I'm also a Russian devotee. Going somewhere to Radha-Kund and listening from this Baba, that Baba, and because they were attracted by the promises of getting some highly esoteric information or understanding, so they went there. But the problem is, maybe the Baba is really qualified. Maybe he is really a pure devotee. We cannot say there are no pure devotees there in Radha-Kund. But the problem is, if I don't have money to pay, if I don't have enough Bhakti-Mukhi Sukriti to understand what the Baba has to say, so then what? Like, actually sometimes it turns very funny. One Russian devotee told to his friend that he was given, how is it called? Diksha Pranali, yes, Siddha Pranali, and in that Siddha Pranali, he's a gopi in that Siddha Pranali, but he's still in this male body. He identifies himself with the male body. He still has to pass the Bhagavad Gita test. He hasn't realized that he's not this body. So when he started meditating the meditation, okay, I'm a gopi, I have everything which corresponds. I have a beautiful sari, I have a beautiful waist and breasts. So then what happened? His lust increased. Why? Because before doing this, before trying to poke your nose or my nose into highly esoteric subject matters, I should graduate the basic course. And what is the basic course? This is the philosophy given to us in Bhagavad Gita, and also at least I should learn how to chant the holy name offenselessly, without offenses. And if I'm still committing offenses during my chanting, then my so-called meditation on my transcendental form is just a form of sahaja. So this is the way it is. So if we want to go there, if we really want to understand what is our eternal spiritual identity, we should befriend, not just befriend, we should become menial servants of our Guru Maharaj and our senior God brothers. And the main thing in the instructions of any Guru Maharaj is that we should serve the holy name, because we happen to be a part of Sankirtana movement by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Sri ISKCON happens to be our Diamond Sutra, so to speak. So this is the main text for all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And in Sri ISKCON, the second verse, Lord Chaitanya says, what is our main problem? He doesn't say about anything else except that we don't have anuraga, we don't have attachment for chanting the holy name. And from the other point, from the other side, if we are trying to chant the holy name offenselessly, if we're trying to chant more rounds, to participate in kirtan, more in kirtan, it gives us guts to understand, to digest the philosophy we are given, because this philosophy cannot be understood by just reading the books. Srila Prabhupada emphasizes this point in the purport, either in this one or the next one, that this transcendental knowledge cannot be obtained just by reading the books. It's not that, okay, I can remember so many verses from Bhagavad Gita, or someone like in Russia, they study Bhagavad Gita and other Vedas in some of their institutes. There are people who know all the verses from Bhagavad Gita from the heart. They are just karmis, but they happen to be, indologists. Yeah, this is how we call them. So they know Bhagavad Gita from the heart, but it doesn't make them spiritually advanced, because it's just a theoretical study of the Shastras. So this is why our program should be balanced. Service to our Guru Maharaj, whatever our Guru Maharaj wants us to do. A qualified spiritual master sees the actual level of his disciple. So if his disciple is on the level of karma, for instance, his adhikar is karma adhikar, means doing some work for Krishna. This is what, that will be the instruction given by the Guru Maharaj. Or if someone's adhikar is jnana adhikar, so then he'll be given an assignment, okay, study the Shastras, do this, that. But it is expected that in time we'll improve our adhikar. So we are expected not to remain eternal karma yogis, or karma mishra bhaktas or jnana mishra bhaktas. And if we want to improve our adhikar, as Srila Gaura Govinda Swami puts it, we have to hear. We have to hear, and we have to hear in the proper mood. Hearing means transformation, as I said already. So we have. It all begins with hearing, and not just like Srila Prabhupada says, don't hear like pigs. You can preach to a pig for hours and hours, and the pig will not object, will not raise any objections. But when you finish, then the pig will go on with your or his piggy wiggy business, because that's the pig. So same way, Lord Jesus said, don't throw pearls in front of pigs. Yes, this is what he said. So the listeners should not hear like pigs. That was Srila Prabhupada's request. Do not hear like pigs. It means that whatever Srila Prabhupada says, we should perceive as an instruction for us. Instruction means something we should put into action. We should execute. So this is the way how we can improve our adhikar. And if we ever want to make it to Shuddha Bhakti, then we should hear from this perspective. We should hear the Shastras from this perspective. Because I don't know what about India or America, but in Russia we have so-called indirect preaching. You know what is indirect preaching? It's when someone is saying, lecturing on astrology, on this, that. Indirect preaching? Yes, yoga classes like this. This is also comes from the Shastras, yoga, karma, jnana, astrology. But if we have a choice, if we have done with our interest to these things, if we haven't, then we have to study this from Srila Prabhupada's books. Srila Prabhupada's books contain everything: Hatha yoga, jnana yoga, karma yoga, Vedic astrology, Vedic cosmology. I wanted to say. Well, Vedic astrology is also mentioned there in some purports. Even you can read Lord Chaitanya's horoscope in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. But when we are done with this, and if we want to make some advancement towards Shuddha Bhakti, then we should hear from this perspective, and we should read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. We should read Krishna book. The Krishna book, by the way, was one of the first books given to us by Srila Prabhupada. One of the first books, Krishna books. We should hear both Nitya and Naimitika Leelas. I mean about both Nitya and Naimitika Leelas of Krishna, side by side. Nitya Leela means eternal pastimes of Krishna, and Naimitika are those pastimes which are connected to the material world, like Krishna's killing the demons, Krishna's creating, maintaining, and destroying the material universe. So we should hear about both kinds of leelas, because hearing about Naimitika leelas destroys our anarthas. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur even explains which leela destroys which anarthas. There is such an information, you can get it. If it's right in the folio Veda base, you can find it. And hearing about Nitya leelas of Krishna, gradually, by hearing about Nitya leelas of Krishna, gradually we can start to understand where our ruchi goes, where our taste, our desire to serve Krishna goes, and that is a very personal and confidential subject matter. But still, it also comes from Srila Prabhupada that when a purified soul is getting attracted towards a specific lila, Nitya Leela of Krishna, so this is where he or she probably should go. This is his inclination towards a particular rasa. So hearing, and also we have to work on our chanting, because the holy name, like it says, Harinam Eva Kevalam, only the holy name, especially in this age of Kali. Harinam, Harinam, Harinam Eva Kevalam. So hearing and serving the holy name, and even if we don't do the activities directly connected to kirtan, let's say to kirtan or to spreading the holy name, if we do another service, still we should remember that everything in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement is done for the sake of Sankirtana. That finally we and others, we attract by our service, preaching, prasad distribution, book distribution, whatever. Finally we all get together and we have some kirtana. We have a nice kirtan here in Sri Vrindavan Dham. And Srila Prabhupada says that the more participants are there in the kirtan, the sweeter the kirtan is, and the sweeter is the kirtan. So this is also, if we do like this, if we hear more and more, and if we work on our chanting more and more, it deals with our material attachments in a natural way. Like sometimes people asking their spiritual authorities or their gurus, okay, Guru Maharaj, I have such and such attachment. I cannot get rid of my attachment towards watching TV, for instance. I don't know. When I see my beautiful plasma TV, my hand automatically takes the remote control. I turn it on, and I'm done. The whole evening I spend watching my TV. So, Guru Maharaj, what should I do? But if we just remember that 16 rounds is just the beginning. If we have to chant more rounds, then okay, my hand goes in the direction of the remote controller, but then my intelligence remind me that I haven't finished my rounds. I'm sorry, you haven't finished your rounds, and you should go for kirtan. Then the pratyahara, withdrawing the senses from the sense objects, is done in an inertial way. Or let's say Haridas Thakur, when the prostitute came to him in the dead of night and tried to, she wanted him to fall down. What did Haridas Thakur do? He didn't call for security. He didn't have any security around. He didn't start beating the prostitute or chastising her. He just said, "Okay, my dear, I will definitely fulfill your desire, but I have to finish my rounds first." So the prostitute had to wait for a few days, and thus she had an opportunity to listen to the pure chanting of Haridas Thakur, and finally she became a devotee herself. So this is how it's being done. Otherwise, we have to put some extraneous efforts. Okay, maybe I should not watch TV today. Okay, so today, well, but if we have the positive alternative, if we don't read the books, if we don't chant more rounds, if we don't participate more in the Shriharinam Sankirtana, then sooner or later Maya will have pure way. And so this is basically how we should serve the Guru, and it's all done as our service to our Guru Maharaj. And just to finish this, one time I asked my Guru Maharaj, how can I please you? This is an natural question every disciple should ask his Guru Maharaj. And that time I was a temple brahmachari and a book distributor, and I expected my Guru Maharaj saying something like, okay, you have to distribute 20 tons of books, something like this. I was young, and my passion was to like this. But my Guru Maharaj looks at me and tells me that if you want to satisfy me, you become a pure devotee, you become Krishna conscious. So that was his reply. And but then I decided, okay, I should have my way anyways. And then I decided, okay, Guru Maharaj, but what about service? What about the service I should do for you? And then, okay, he asked me, okay, what are you doing? I'm a book distributor. Okay, go on with your book distribution. But his first reply was that I should, if I want to satisfy him, I should become Krishna conscious. And if we want to become Krishna conscious, then we should remember that the holy name, which is not different from Krishna, is our constant companion. We should just learn how to serve him in the best way. Hare Krishna. I took a little bit of time, just a few minutes. Yeah, just to have my 1 hour. Okay. Yes.